It might be 70 miles north of the Mexico-Arizona border, but Pinal County feels like the front lines in the fentanyl crisis. For years, cartels have used this route to smuggle illicit cargo north across the Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation. Since 2017, Sheriff Mark Lamb has worked to stop it.
So if you look out this way, that area down there is going to be the reservation. A few miles, I think it's 4 or 5 miles, the reservation starts, and then that reservation goes all the way into Mexico. It crosses over the border. So on both sides, you have Mexico and the United States, but the reservation is on both sides. And so they'll push through the reservation. And a lot of times, members of that reservation will drive them up to the county line and drop them off. And then what they do is they hike up to the I-8 or just on the other side to a place like where I'm going to show you now. And then they'll load out their vehicle and take off. So mind you, I could probably show you 100 of these spots. You can see all the residue from the people here. The water jugs, the clothes, the blankets. That orange twine is the remnants of a marijuana backpack. They use the burlap straps to make a backpack, and then they'll use the twine to tie these two packs together.
Warner Glenn's family first settled here along the Arizona-Mexico border in 1896. At 83 years old, Glenn works the ranch each day and is well known throughout the area. He says illegal immigrants have always been a part of the landscape.
We moved down here in '62, and at that time there would be 2 or 3 illegals coming through and looking for work, and all the ranchers worked them on and off. They were wonderful for especially hard labor type work and good cowboys if you needed a cowboy. But I tell you, nowadays, the few that are coming through are pretty hardcore, especially the drug guys.
And now residents on the border are seeing an overall rise in crime.
When they come back, if they go by a residence and nobody's there, they're going to go in and look around. And firearms, top of the list. Any kind of jewelry, top of the list. Cash, top of the list.
We don't lock the doors because they'd just break the window anyway.
Billy Grossman lives nearby, and illegals have entered his home a number of times. He recently caught a smuggler trying to steal his truck.
Well, I brought him back to the house, and my wife called the sheriff. And the sheriff and Border Patrol come out and got him, and then we went back to the pickup, and there was a bale of marijuana in the back of my pickup, and he had stolen a lot of stuff from the house.
This is one of the loneliest border crossings on the U.S. southern border. It's on the Tohono O'odham Indian Reservation, which is about 4,000 square miles of desert on the U.S. southern border in Arizona. The Tohono O'odham people live on both sides of the border, and they used to cross with impunity. But it's getting harder now for them to visit their relatives because of the incredible amount of human smuggling and drug trafficking that happens in this area. This vast desert poses a major challenge for Lamb and his deputies to police it all.
This is a unique area. We actually have RIP crews that will come in these areas, and the RIP crews are other drug dealers, other criminals that will come and steal the product from these loads. That whether it's marijuana, the fentanyl, the pills, but lately what they've been stealing, and which has more value, is humans. So if they're trafficking a load of 10 people that are trying to come to America, the RIP crews can come and steal them and then go up and extort them for money, put them into the sex trade, make them work for them, do all that.
The result is measured in human suffering.
These poor people, when we find them, they're darn near dead just from exhaustion. From what the cartels put them through.
I want to show you something. We're just out here on the edge of the Indian Reservation, the Tohono O'odham Reservation that goes all the way down to the U.S.-Mexican border. And there are these piles of clothing everywhere around this area because this is a drop-off point. These are not migrants. These are not people who are coming across looking for asylum. These are invaders. The reason I say that is because we have these shoes made of carpet, which mask their footprints and the sound of their walking. We have camouflage jackets out here. We have camouflage hats. Now these are uniforms. These are the same hats. Here's 3 of them. They've obviously been purchased at the same place. It's the same kind of camouflage. There are several of these camouflage backpacks also out here. This is what you would expect from a military invasion. When people are wearing uniforms that are standardized, these are obviously being funded by the cartels, and instead of carrying weapons, what they're carrying into America is poison.
We're the front line. And frankly, they're far more equipped. If they decided to actually come over with guns and all their equipment, how much military weaponry can you buy with $13 billion a year? They are amassing armies, well-equipped armies in Mexico that are going to be very difficult to deal with.
Lamb believes the problem is as much the fault of the U.S. government as it is of the cartels. That's why this sheriff has decided to run for U.S. Senate in 2024.
This fight, the only way to get rid of these people is to vote them out or to impeach them. And so there is hope. The hope is that every 2 years we have elections. And this next election is a crucial election. Because if you don't like this stuff, if you don't want these people flown into America, we got to get somebody back in there that believes in border security, that's actually going to do it and protect our communities and frankly protect these people that are being taken advantage of by the cartels.
From Southern Arizona, I'm Chuck Holton.